Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of my YouTube channel Power Podium, where we are going to look at a very interesting topic, which is converting Microsoft Forms to Word documents. So yesterday I was talking to one of my clients and he had this interesting requirement where he was looking at a pile of Microsoft Forms that he had, and he wanted an automation system to be in place where anytime a user goes ahead and fills up the Microsoft Forms, it should automatically get converted to Word document, or let's say a docx format, by retaining all the responses in that Microsoft form and be available for further editing. So we were just discussing on how we can go ahead and implement this when a brilliant idea struck me. Why not recreate the Microsoft form into an HTML, and then, as you know, there are a lot of third party PDF converters in the market. Use one of them. Since I work with Muhimbi, I'm going to use Muhimbi for this video and convert the Microsoft form from this recreated HTML to a docx format. Now, he said that, okay, Yash, this looks like a brilliant idea, but how are you going to implement this? So the answer was quite obvious. Everything needs to be done using our age old Power Automate. And finally, when we were able to complete this solution, he looked very happy. So without wasting much time, let me first show you how I designed this Power Automate solution and got the expected output, after which I'm going to go ahead and explain you the interim parts of this Power Automate solution. So I have a very simple Microsoft form right now, which is basically just entering your name, your date of birth, and choosing one of the options just for the sake of it. But you can totally design complex forms. Just to keep it simple, I'm taking this very simple form. So let's fill up this form here. What's your name? It is Yash Kamdar. I'm just going to select a random date as my birth date. And for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to take option number 2 here. Nothing needs to be done. Just click on submit, which should trigger my flow. And yes, I think let's refresh this page. The form is still submitting. Okay, the form was submitted. And if I go ahead and click on refresh, yeah, here it is. So the flow is in action now. As you can see, I have configured the flow to create a docx format over here. And yes, a few seconds ago, we have got the desired output. Now, let's take a look at how this Word document looks like. Ta-da! So I have all the response details. I have recreated this Microsoft form into an HTML table. So that is why the responses look like this. But if you observe the form closely, I had like my name, which was the first field, the date of birth, and just an option to choose. Now, just to identify who has created this form, I had also taken one dynamic content that the Microsoft form spits out, which is the email of the responder. So I have just created one column for it and grabbed the email address of the person who filled out this form. Okay, so as you can see, it was quite quick. We got the output in just like 10 seconds. And now it's time to analyze how we have created this flow. So I have clicked on edit, and basically it's a very simple trigger. That is when a new response is submitted. So anytime you get this message from Microsoft Forms that your response was submitted, the Power Automate solution will get triggered automatically. Form ID is basically the form that you have designed. If I click over here, I'll get a list of all the forms that I have in my tenant right now. So for now, we are selecting general form, which is the form that we just filled out a couple of minutes ago. Now, the second most important action is get response details. So what we are going to do is we are going to grab all the responses that we had submitted here with the help of action called get response details. Nothing needs to be filled out, just the form that we are trying to fetch the responses from, and the response ID. So this response ID is automatically spit by the trigger when a new response is submitted. You just need to go ahead and select this. Now this is the most important part where we are going to go ahead and recreate the HTML. Here we are going to use an action which is quite famous in Power Automate and amongst the Power Automate community, which is the compose action. So this compose action allows you to compose your inputs and thereby derive outputs from it. And in this solution, we are going to compose an HTML. Now, I can understand that some of you might not be familiar with HTML, so don't worry much. You can totally go ahead and use W3 schools for creating the HTML, which gives you a console as well to see how your output looks like. So if I run this HTML, you'll see that I get this detail, and after that I just copied this HTML and pasted it over in the compose action. Now, there is one major difference between the HTML that I have in here and the HTML that I'm actually going to pass to the compose action, and that is the responses. You see, when I go ahead and include the get response details action, it is going to spit each and every response of each and every field that was present in my Microsoft form. So as you can see, I don't have data here right now because I need to go ahead and populate the response, that is the dynamic content of the response in here. I think it will be quite obvious once I take you to the bottom of the compose action, that is here. You see in the TD tags, what I'm going to do is click over here and I see the dynamic content in the right hand side. These are the details. So I just need to map the right response against the right question. So let's say I'm going to remove this for now, all the four of them. Now I am in the first field. The first column is email of the responder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to populate responder's email. Similarly, the second column name is full name. So I'm going to populate the response of please enter your name over here. The third one is the date of birth. So I'm just going to click on here and include enter your date of birth. And the fourth one is option number 1 or 2. So I just need to go ahead and include that in the final part. So that's it. Yeah, as you can see, this is a very simple method. And yeah, so just include all your HTML in this compose action, and what it is going to spit out is a neat HTML page, which we are going to grab and pass to the next action, which is native to Muhimbi, convert document. So now convert document expects an HTML file, right? Now this HTML file is not present physically on your O365 TNet. So doesn't matter what name you give. We are just going to give it test.html. Okay, just a random name, which is most suited while doing POCs. And in the source file content, we need to pass the outputs of the compose action because this output is currently holding your HTML. Quite obvious, right? Now, the convert document action of Muhimbi currently supports different type of output formats. So you can do cross conversion between one format to other format. Now we are going to select docx, that is the docx format. The last action is pretty easy, which is the create file action. Here we are just going to create the file. So the site address, please enter your correct site address, and the folder path is usually the name of your document library. File name. So the convert document action, which is native to Muhimbi, exposes or spits out two important parameters. One is the base file name, which is basically it is going to take the test.html, right? And then .docx. This is very important because we need to create a .docx file. So don't forget to mention .docx if you're going to go ahead and try to imitate this Power Automate solution. I'm repeating, do not forget to include .docx after base file name. Okay. By the way, this base file name is totally available inside the dynamic content in the convert document action. Can you see the one that I am currently hovering my mouse pointer over? Yeah, that's right. That is the one. Now in the file content, we are going to pass the processed file content, right? The processed file content, because this convert document has already processed this test.html that we recreated earlier. And while creating the file, we are going to need that processed content. So we are just going to pass it over here. Right, so that was it. You see, it's a very simple solution that is going to sit on top of your Microsoft Forms. So give it a try and create beautiful docx files out of your Microsoft Forms. I think it is going to be a bit easy for those who know HTML to a good extent. So they will be able to include different customizations so that this output looks, professional. Right now, it looks good because it's quite simple. It's just having four fields. But yes, in Microsoft Forms, there can be forms which are having a lot of responses, like close to 50 or 60 fields. So that time you need to really go ahead and play out with HTML. Um, Let me know if you get stuck anywhere and how you like this video. Uh, Subscribe to the video channel if you like the videos that I have been creating for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you in the comment section. Bye bye. Have a great day. Stay safe. Take care.